Buckle in and buckle up, bucko. You already know. We're back with another most mysterious TikTok reaction video. We're reacting to mysterious, disturbing theories that might just change your reality. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. It's up to us to distinguish fact from fiction and do your own research on everything. Alright, the question they're asking is, do you believe that this place was carved out of a stone mountain 1200 years ago? I can't say that. I think it was a giant laser printer. Advanced technology. Like, nobody carved this. It was some type of laser printing technology that they aimed on this mountain. And it just got like a CNC machine.
This doesn't make sense. The Kailasa temple is one of humanity's greatest wonders, carved entirely from a single rock. With a foundation dating back thousands of years, legends claim that the main temple was built in just 18 years. But how is this possible? The symmetry is so perfect and the details so precise that they seem like the work of advanced technology, almost like lasers. And the most intriguing part, there are no records of its creation. Could the true history behind this temple be hidden? What secrets would Kailasa reveal? This doesn't make sense. The Kailasa temple...
If we could just accept the fact that this was laser printed, what other type of technology were they capable of doing? If we can look at this and see that it was completely laser printed, what else were they capable of doing?
Of stone, the Kailasa temple is an ancient Hindu temple carved from a single block of stone. The Kailasa temple is an ancient Hindu temple in the western Indian state of Maharashtra and is considered one of the most magnificent cave temples in India. The name of this temple comes from Mount Kailasa, the Himalayan home of the Hindu god Shiva, and is considered to have been constructed between 757 and 783 AD. An estimated total of 150,000 to 400,000 tons of rock were carved from top to bottom out of a vertical basalt cliff in the Karanandri Hills to create the majestic temple over a period of around 2.5 decades. It is filled with intricately carved monoliths and halls with stairs, doorways, windows, and several fixed sculptures. Because of these magnificent sculptures as well as the extraordinary engineering of the temple, Kailasa is regarded as an outstanding example of Indian art and architecture. Carved from a single block of stone, the Kailasa...
Want to see the proof that our history is a lie? Let's take a look at the Kailasa temple. Want to see the proof?
Do you want to see proof?
Hey guys, this is the world famous Kailasa temple at Ellora. What's so special about this temple? This temple was built by a very advanced civilization. This is the only temple in the whole world where a mountain was cut out from the top to create a structure. To see why this rock cutting technique is so different, let's take a look at this pillar that's over 100 feet tall. Notice how small human beings look when compared to this pillar. Normally, to create such a huge pillar, it would take years of work carving accurately on a huge rock. But this pillar was carved by scooping out all the pieces of mountain around it. You can imagine the amount of rock which has been removed to create this pillar. Historians and archaeologists are confused because of the sheer amount of rock that was removed in this temple. Archaeologists confirm that over 400,000 tons of rock had to be scooped out, which would have taken not years, but centuries of human labor. Historians have no record of such a monstrous task, and they think that this temple was built in less than 18 years. Let's do a simple math and see if historians could be right. I'm going to assume that people worked every day for 18 years and for 12 hours straight with no breaks at all. I'm going to ignore rainy days, festivals, wartime, and assume that people work like robots ceaselessly. I'm also going to ignore the time taken to create intricate carvings and complex engineering design and planning, and just focus on the removal of rock. If 400,000 tons of rock were removed in 18 years, 22,000 tons of rock had to be removed every year. This means that 60 tons of rock was removed every day, which gives us 5 tons of rock removed every hour. I think we can all agree that it's not even possible today to remove 5 tons of rock from a mountain every hour. Not even with these so-called advanced machines we have. So if it's not humanly possible, was it done by humans at all? Was this created with the help of extraterrestrial intelligence? Now, forget about creating such an extraordinary structure. Can human beings at least destroy this temple? In fact, Aurangzeb employed 1,000 workers to completely demolish this temple. In 1682, he ordered that the temple be destroyed so that there would be no trace of it. Records show that 1,000 people worked for 3 years and they could only do a very minimal damage. They could break and disfigure a few statues here and there, but they realized it's just not possible to completely destroy this temple. Aurangzeb finally gave up on this impossible task. Were all these indestructible structures around the world created by extraterrestrials? Is that why human beings are not even able to destroy them? However, the Kailasa temple is the oldest and the biggest temple carved with engineering perfection. Unlike other temples, the Kailasa is the only temple that's visible from the air, and you can see it while flying over it. Is this just a coincidence? Or was it designed for people to see it from the air? Even on Google Earth, the aerial view of Kailasa temple clearly shows an X mark. This is how it looks.
We just look at it from above, looking at this temple. It looked like they had several cuts. Like it was like flew up top. Looked like it just flew up top. This top piece, because there's 3 pieces. If you look, my mouse won't pop up, but there's one at the very top I'm looking at. Then we go towards the middle. Wow. So this looked like there's 3 pieces cut by this giant UFO that came down and looked down and hit him with the CNC machine. Drop your thoughts below.
From the top, and you can see a circular design that is studded with 4 lions that create this huge X mark. Was this created as a signal for extraterrestrials who can spot the location while flying? Unlike other temples of Ellora, notice how well its rectangular design is oriented with all the 4 directions. Its entrance faces perfectly to the west. Is this another coincidence too? Unlike most other temples of Ellora, this temple has bridges that connect towers, hidden underground passages, secret peepholes that can show people walking in, elaborate balconies in different areas, and complex stairways that connect multiple levels. And all of this had to be planned accurately before they started carving the mountain. No connecting rocks or external rocks were used at all, and everything was carved perfectly from one mountain. Do you still believe that this was done with chisels, hammers, and pickaxes by people with limited mathematical and architectural knowledge? I hope we can all agree that the Kailasa temple was built by a much advanced civilization, whether it originated in Earth or elsewhere.
It's very hard for me to sit here and be like, yeah, that was done with hammer and chisel, or this giant UFO spacecraft coming above it and beaming something down, making that pattern. I don't know. Y'all tell me your thoughts on the comments below. Kailasa Temple.
The amazing Kailasa Temple of India was built with advanced technology and encoded with knowledge of the 26,000-year precessional. Undeniable proof the amazing Kailasa Temple of India was built with advanced technology and encoded with knowledge of the 26,000-year precessional cycle of this planet. It's clear a type of advanced machinery was used to carve this temple from the top down, excavating over 400,000 tons of basalt mountainside and maintaining such precision and complexity within these objects. As you can see here on the top of the temple, we have 4 lions representing the 4 seasons of the great 26,000-year precessional cycle, and lower time frame cycles of 6,480 years and 1,440, all of which are divine numbers and represented by the circles beneath. This very advanced geodetic knowledge can only be held by highly intelligent scientific civilizations.
Like they had some type of essence about them that they knew this. They knew how to do this.
Shan Giant Buddha in China. This is the Leshan Giant Buddha in China, and they say it was built in 703. And I've got to tell you, we are far from the most advanced civilization, because no one would even attempt to pull this off in this day and age. So allegedly, they built this by carving into the cliff with just a hammer and a chisel. Really? Okay, so what about the Kailasa temple in India? They say it was built in the 8th century, chiseled from top down. Do you know how hard it would be to start chiseling into a mountain from top to bottom? So they would have had to remove 8 million tons of stone by hand and of course chisel to build this. So you see where all the empty space is? That was solid rock. They have removed all of that rock to build this. And guess how long it took to build? 5.5 years. I mean, come on, brother. Man said hammer and chisel. More like lasers. This is the Leshan Giant Buddha.
Where are those aircrafts at now that did it? That's what I want to see. I want to see it in action. I want to see it actually get made in action. The beams going everywhere. Was it just one overhead beam, or did they have multiple? Had to go into 360 and beam it for different edges, trying to get the balconies just right. You know, how did they beam it? That's what I want to know. I want to see the aircraft. I want to see the beaming procedure.
Y'all, someone in Afghanistan found a statue with a QR code attached to his head. Now, I think that this is real bizarre, right? Because I heard a story that they had basically figured out time travel back in the past, right? Like on some like Stargate shit, you feel me? And somehow taught some of the people back then about the future and gave them some of the sauce, yo. Now, I feel like this can really make sense, right? Now, think about this. How do the Simpsons always know when something's about to happen? Is it just a prediction, or is it planned? From all this time I've been on Earth, I just keep seeing different plans, you feel me? Archaeologists also found these other 2 crazy statues, man, with this shit on the ground. Y'all tell me, yo. But I do find it weird that in all of the ancient tablets and on the walls and all that, it's always like a half man, like half animal or some crazy shit. Oh my god! Y'all, someone in...
I wonder what happened if you tried to scan the QR code.
Newspaper Rock in Indian Creek State Park, Utah, is home to one of the most impressive collections of ancient petroglyphs in North America. The 200-square-foot panel is
Since it's November.
Newspaper Rock in Indian Creek State Park, Utah, is home to one of the most impressive collections of ancient petroglyphs in North America. The 200-square-foot panel is covered with more than 650 symbols, representing nearly 2,000 years of human history. Newspaper Rock in Indian Creek.
This is called Newspaper Rock? This is crazy. It looked like they had some Giants depictions in there. Because you see some are way bigger, and see right here. This is what I'm talking about. You see something extremely massive, and then you see smaller people. Wow, this is even more close up. Looks like we got some animals. What is that at the top? Tell me what you guys are seeing. It looks like they got some feet at the top, some type of footprint. They got, looks like somebody with a sword or lightning bolt up top. Looks like they have hunters. This is interesting. I wonder what is being told here.
In Indian Creek, Utah. Alright, so the dog and I were down in Indian Creek, Utah. That's by the Needle District and Canyonlands. And this is one of the most famous petroglyph panels in the whole world. It's called Newspaper Rock. And it's really big, and it's got just about everything that you can imagine on there. From flying squirrels, big bear prints, to a guy on a horse shooting a bow and arrow, wagon wheels, anthropomorphic images. It was done by the Utes, the Navajo, and the ancestral Puebloans. There's a signature there that says 1755. I don't know if that's authentic. There's a couple of them. There's one from 1954 and there's another from 1902 as well. The panel will extend over from this side and then up on top of that ledge too. There's some more petroglyphs. They got them really high up there. There's probably a good 15-20 feet. But pretty neat little panel here. You got all these cacti down here. Just a really pretty place down here in Indian Creek. We're gonna go explore a little bit more. Alright, so the dog and I were down in Indian Creek, Utah.
Man, this is a beautiful sight. I wonder how you get to here and what else they have nearby, you know, what other type of artifacts or what you can do nearby to like make this, you know, part of some plan or something.
I never share the locations of places that I go, or traditionally over the last, I don't know, couple years. However, I'm going to share a location of Newspaper Rock. Now, why am I doing this? It's because it's very high trafficked. It's very known. It's popular. It'd be like sharing Canyonlands or sharing Arches National Park, in my opinion. So if you're driving and you're going down south to get to Newspaper Rock, you got to pass Moab. And here's Moab right there, right? And here's the cheat code. So normally, if you're going there, you're going to be driving on this highway. And I should have put in a little bit more time before I made this and found out what this highway is called, but it's the highway between Moab and Monticello. And you come down here and there's Church Rock right there. I made a video about this guy, about the crazy lady that wanted to haul that out, and it'd have you take a right here. And you'll probably see lots of cars, lots of overlanders, lots of vans and campers going that way. But here's the cheat code. Don't go there. Past that and keep heading down south. You're going to climb up this little mountain range right here, right before you get into Monticello. And then you're going to keep going, and we're about to Monticello. There's the airport. And now we're in Monticello. And at Monticello at the Four Corners, I think it's called Four Corners. Yeah, it is. You take a right there. And you're going to want to trust me on this one. So you're going to take a right on this road. And I'll back up so you can kind of see where you're going. If you wanted to, you could take a left right here and go see this lake. It's called Lloyd's Lake. It's really pretty. They got a trail that will go all the way around it. I've walked it several times. And you want to keep going up this highway. Now I'll give you three 3D view of this, it doesn't do it any justice. These are pretty big mountains. They're very green, and they're just absolutely beautiful. And this is why you should go this way, in my opinion. And it's just a beautiful drive. There's another lake you get to pass. I think this one's called Monticello Lake right there. And then you got this viewpoint right here. And this viewpoint's going to look over Indian Creek. It's going to look over Shea Mountain. And you can see all the way down into Canyonlands. You can see like 6-shooter point. In fact, they have this like little pipe that you can look through that will point out different landmarks that you can look at. And there's actually another lake you can go to too that's right here. I've been to this lake too, walked that with the dog. Spring Lake it's called. Oops. So you're going to continue on that road, and it's just going to keep dropping down through this beautiful mountain range. And they're going to keep dropping down, and just follow this road, and then you just take a left where it tees. So you take a left there, and then this is really, really pretty. Like, the phone's not going to do this justice at all. You got to be really careful on some of these roads, especially this part right here. Like, they don't have any safety net, or whatever, the safety guards. And so if you're not paying attention, you can go off that pretty easily. And then you're basically into Indian Creek. And Indian Creek, it doesn't look cool on this, but it is so beautiful. And right here is the parking lot for Newspaper Rock. And there's the panel right there. But yeah, that's my cheat code. If you ever want to go there, I highly recommend it. It might add like maybe 5 miles to your 5 or 10 miles to your drive, but it's well worth it. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's my cheat code of the day. If you want to go see Newspaper Rock down just south of Canyonlands and in Barriers National Monument. So normally I don't ever share the look.
He dropped some gems on us. He showed you how you could knock out several birds with one stone. You know, if you're going just for one thing, you might as well see everything around that area. That's what I need when I go and see something like that, an itinerary. So I know what I'm doing, what lake I'm going to, what artifacts I'm about to see. You know, you need an itinerary. I hope I'm saying it right. Itinerary, you know, I never had one in my life, you know, but that's what you need. You know, you need a plan.
In the depths of the Tartarian manuscripts, we find a worldview so intricate, so layered, that it defies simple understanding. The Tartarians believed that reality was woven from hidden forces, an interconnected network of magnetic, electric, and spiritual energies bound to elements and resonating with cosmic bodies. What you're about to see goes beyond knowledge. This is an invitation to glimpse the inner architecture of existence itself. The Tartarians described the mind as a magnetic field, a living force, reaching beyond the brain like the pull of a magnet, attracting frequencies tied to our desires and fears. They wrote that this magnetic field of thought was a potent force, shaping not just perception but reality itself. Thoughts were not passive, they were active, vibrating and attracting like magnetic pulses, binding our inner world to the outer. They described the heart as both electric and spiritual energy, the core of life's vital force. Every heartbeat was an electric pulse sending waves through the body and beyond. But the Tartarians claimed that the heart's electric field could align with cosmic energy, drawing power from stars and planets. This resonance, they believed, amplified physical health and spiritual strength, making the heart a gateway to divine connection. The Tartarians saw fire as more than an element. It was the essence of willpower and transformation. Fire, they believed, was the alchemical force capable of transmuting thoughts and desires into reality. They spoke of an inner fire within each of us, igniting willpower and manifesting intentions. By aligning with fire, they learned to transform themselves, channeling raw desire into disciplined action, merging thought, emotion, and energy into a refined, potent force. Earth, to the Tartarians, was the element of grounding, stability, and physical manifestation. They believed that each action taken on Earth sent out resonant frequencies, like ripples in a pond, that returned in kind. Earth's energy, they claimed, was the canvas for thought, will, and spirit. By harmonizing with Earth's frequencies, they brought their ideas into physical existence, transforming intangible energy into material reality. The Tartarians believed each planet carried a unique frequency, affecting the human body and mind. By aligning their energy with these planetary forces, they could harness influences: Jupiter's expansion, Mars's strength, Venus's harmony. They saw planets as reservoirs of energy, each capable of enhancing different aspects of life. Planetary resonance, they believed, fueled growth and empowerment beyond earthly limits. In the Tartarian worldview, all elements, air, water, fire, and earth, wove together to create a seamless tapestry. Each element bound to the others by invisible threads, magnetic and spiritual. They saw elements as living forces, each one contributing a vital aspect of reality. Air carries thought, water embodies emotion, fire ignites will, and earth grounds action. All interconnected, shaping reality like threads in a cosmic web. By understanding these connections, they believed they could master life itself. To master these forces, the Tartarians practiced elemental alignment, a process of tuning their personal energy to resonate with each element. This alignment allowed them to amplify their connection to physical and spiritual realms. Through elemental alignment, they achieved balance within, becoming vessels for pure forms of thought, emotion, action, and willpower. They became, as the manuscripts describe, living embodiments of nature's forces. These practices were powerful alone, but the Tartarians believed they could unlock deeper mastery through specific sound waves. They wrote that sound was the bridge connecting mind, body, and cosmos, amplifying their connection to hidden forces.
Interesting. Elemental alignment, and how the Tartarians used to use sound as healing. That was interesting. I don't necessarily agree with everything that was just said, but there was some interesting points brought up. How the elements have different reactions, interweaving in the cosmic web. Heavy stuff. That's all I got for today's video. If you made it this far, the code word for today's video is temple. Drop temple in the comments below so I know you made it all the way through. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. And shout out to everyone on the research team. Shout out to Jennifer's, Brad Cox, Prasan Sisorpa, and Leon Nordmestre. Sorry if I butchered your names, but huge shout out to them. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next episode. Live coming soon. Peace out.